All right, here we are for game one. I don't know whether this was a play first or draw first format traditionally, but I'm going to generally err on going on the play. And this seems relatively fine. We've got a removal spell for any early shenanigans. Once we draw another white, we've got a threat and we've got a good blocker. If we can get the Ophidian Eye going on the Avenger, we're pretty happy. So I'll keep this. Again, we can't flash in Ye Old Avenger, but, well, I mean, derp. We can't cast it on turn 2, but I'm still going to lead with the white because we're not playing the Dan Dan. All right. Everything is fine so far. Blue-green. I'm happy to have the Interceptor against blue-green. All right. Everything is fine. They may have a Flash Bear, which we have to decide whether we would want to... yeah, they got a Flash Bear. I don't think we bother Psionic Blasting that because the Interceptor should just block it forever. Like, Psionic Blast is good removal against a green deck. Whenever this permanent becomes a target. Okay, so it's a 2/2 that we want to kill in combat, which is fine. Alright. Still haven't hit that other white, but... Okay, so they're actually the domain deck. This makes it a little risky. We can block both of them, and I think we do that because that's why we put this card in the deck. But like a combat trick does get them through this, and it'd be nice to be able to do that and hold up Psionic Blast. Okay. Everything is fine here. So if I run this guy out, I can just trade it. And hold up Psionic Blast. I think I probably want to do that. Rather than try to unmorph it, like there's the they don't know what it is and might be scared of it shenanigans, but I think we're just better off having a 2/1 on this board. I actively think I would have liked to cancel in this deck if we could have found one. Alright, if they're not attacking, I think that favors us long term. Now there's something I will cast face down. And since we don't have a land drop anyway, and hitting one makes the Serra Avenger an actual threat, we're just doing this. Alrighty. Like, we can keep up Psionic Blast to play around them having something, but I think I like having the Doomsayer in play. And at this point, trading off the Coral Trickster is probably beneficial for us because they're probably playing Tromp the Domains. So I think we actually attack first, trade it for the Bear. We're not super thrilled about that, but generally speaking, the less creatures you have in play against you when you're playing against the Tromp deck, the happier you are. Tromp the Domain is a card that gives all your creatures +1/+1 for each basic land type you control and trample. And I'm scared of that because we've seen green and then basics from all the other colors. Like, they could just be a good stuff deck and not have Tromp, but if they've got Tromp, we don't want them playing it. That was a reason to leave up Psionic Blast, but I did not expect that was what was going to happen there, so... And it's only a spell, right? Yes, we can tap that happily. I think if that was their best play, yeah, especially hitting this, we're just going to plan on Psionic Blasting their totem if they go for it again. Kind of want to hit that other white. But since we're already kind of locked into thinking twice, Okay. Let's make sure that, again, that this is what it says it is. Becomes the target of a spell an opponent controls. Alright, well, you get tapped. Does mean that we could play our thing that does the thing, the enchantment removal spell. I'm glad we get to use our mana here. So let's draw a card. More islands. Not really what we're looking for. Croakclaw Transmuter's fine. It means we can get a threat in. This is good for several reasons. It means we can cast the Serra Avenger. We can hold up this plus the Psionic Blast. So this is just all around fantastic for us. We can also even attack for 1 with our Fathom Seer. We can also kind of blow out their turn if they activate this and attack with it. Transmute it into a 3/5 and block it. Like, that's just fine. Like, would I rather kill it or put a threat on the board? I'd probably rather kill it. Although getting this guy down... I mean, he's still got to use a combat trick to do something. I'm going to go with this. Like, this puts 6 in the air on him every turn. Long term, that's a lot of damage. And it basically whiffs his turn. So, not knowing what that morph is, I'm kind of tempted to use the Ophidian Eye so we can draw a card here. That still lets us hold up the blast. I realize I could flash that, but I don't care to. Yeah, I'll draw a card. Now, we're stuck a little bit on lands. There's an argument to blast this while we can, but it leaves us without a really good answer for the totem. So I'm going to, whatever this morph is, let them have it. We'll intensely regret that. In some scenarios. Like, there are some morph creatures that we're super scared of. And one thing they could be doing is playing one that's almost, like, unplayable. Because it's so expensive to unmorph. And then their plan is to, like, momentary blink it. That's a cheap way to flip a morph. Okay. Yeah, it still doesn't do much for them. I still think we save the blast for this guy. And with nothing going on, like, I'm still not at the point where I can cast Eternity Snare and flip, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So I think we hit first and then evaluate the board state from there. Yeah, that seems just fine. Can do this, keep up the blast, trade it for a 2-drop and not particularly care. Obviously our enchantment kill flyer is something we're going to be quite interested in. Note the game has gone long enough. Alright, this is what we've been saving this for, so let's just fire it off. Oh wow, I didn't even recognize that that's what that card did. I didn't bother to read it. They just get it back. Alright. Well, I guess that means we're going to have to kill them with flyers eventually. Here's a way to take advantage of us getting flooded with lands. At this point, do I just snare the morph? Probably not. I still don't feel like that's what's going to kill me. I think I like playing the Crier, searching up another scout. Okay. He gets to kill my wall with it too. That's a shame. Alright, so at this point, do I care more about that morph or one of these guys? Well, since this is like insta-derp, I still feel like that's not what's going to kill us. It's probably going to be that totem and the fact that we can't actually deal any damage to our opponent now because we don't have any flyers. Meh. Meh, meh, meh. But we're flooded, and this is a way to take advantage of the flooding. And I do want to search up with this turn. So let's do that. I don't know why I didn't recognize that totem thing they have isn't so amazing, because it's pretty amazing. It's like you just can't kill it. Alright, let's get our other scout. We can also get the Outrider that made it in there. Like, he just can't die. That's not bad. It's a good blocker. I'll take him. Also, it's a pretty good attacker. He can't kill it on attacks. Flicker Spirit will eventually get him, but like, what happens if I attack here? Anything that blocks it, I can redirect the damage. It just insta-kills this. I want to get this in play, and I want to not have to be scared. He's out of cards, so we need to kill him in the next little bit. This guy with enough mana can negate any attack. But I think I like starting with tapping this guy. And leaving up enough to cast the Wisp. It also lets us draw a card, which is relevant, unless it's that. So do I attack here, leave up this? There's so many things to figure out. But I think if we don't start pushing damage, we're in a little bit of trouble, so let's do the thing. We're in a little bit of trouble to that totem. And to be frank, we're in a little bit of trouble to just him attacking. Snare doesn't actually tap things, does it? Yep, we are learning how these cards work. It's an Assassinate, Travis, not a Claustrophobia. Casting that on basically any of his other creatures would have been better. Yep. We're essentially dead now. But I've learned what some of these cards do. And our opponent seems to have their deck figured out a bit better than us. Can we recover? Yeah, because not untapping doesn't really help us. I don't understand why they're not... I guess they're going to mill us out. Is their plan now? Like, aren't we just dead if I attack with this? I think so. Like, they swing with the team. I block, chump. Take 5 plus 4 is 9. I don't think I can kill them in time. But the only thing I can think of that is even pseudo-relevant is let's try to deal some damage. Because if they're going to try to do the mill thing, they got our mystical teachings in the graveyard. Like, how are you not just activating that and killing me? What does this guy do? All slivers have tap target permanent. Okay, we're probably done here. And getting milled out with sliver shenanigans. But I guess we give it a shot. They also milled our other scout, so there's no targets for the crier now. And they just played a 5/5, so we can't even attack them. Alright, I think we're just dead here. I don't like it. There's the option to scoop because they won't know the rest of our deck. So they can mill us for 1, 2, 3 this turn. I think I get one more untap step. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to kill them in that untap step, but... because they've got 4 mills next turn, so I get to draw one more card. I mean, I guess we do that. Like, I think we stop the whole game plan if we take this out. Yeah, that's not going to do it. So at this point, we do scoop. They didn't see our Teferi, which is relevant, but I've learned that I need to read what Eternity Snare does and remember that Brine Elemental is a bomb. Alright, so I thought they were a beatdown deck. They're not. One of the things I do want is this Gaze of Just Ice, because if we can take out their Sliver, I think we've kind of got them. Now this guy can basically never attack, right? He can attack if they have islands. So the Dan actually seems somewhat reasonable. We want this guy too to blow up their enchantments. And we really don't need the ground defense as much as it looks like. The Crier also looks like it's not going to be super great. This guy's another way to kill X1s, which is the sliver we were really worried about. It's kind of a nombo with our temporal isolation. But I think we still want it. So I want to get potentially these cards in. I think I'm probably more interested in... the Dan may be too cute. It is a way to kill our opponent, but... I don't actually have a way to deal with that totem. At all, other than just stare at it and cry. Yeah, Griffin Guide can probably go. Like, it's cool, but that's not what the problem was them killing our dudes. I still like the teachings. It just gets any card in the deck that you want. Doomslayer seems okay. Maybe it is the isolation that I cut. That can't be right. Dan sucks. But if there's ever a matchup for Dan, isn't this it? Is this not it? I could cut the Coral Twixta and not hate myself. Although it does provide a solution to that totem now that I know what it does. I could cut Eternity Snare because I'm terrible at using it. But that doesn't seem like a good idea either. Maybe it's just the Sentinel. No, that deals with his stupid enchantment cards too. If we're playing double blue, Dan seems fine. Yeah, I can't think of a better cut than Dan. Sorry, Dan. You gotta go, my friend. Although, maybe it's just better than that wall. Well, the wall's still searchable with the teachings, so it's like I get a free copy of it. Yes, let's go on the play. Yeah, alright, I'm in. Aggressive start? Not really. Can we beat his totem? Maybe not. But it's the start of a good hand. We at least have Think Twice on 2 and Morph a Fathom Seer. Bubbles! It's like we're doing things and stuff. That giant has 2 heads. I guess that was the original 2-headed giant, was the Foresian. Those are too many words. I guess it's technically too many letters. But you know what I mean. It's like all these letters jumbled together. Like, make it less complicated. Banalish night. Alright, we'll get our thinking on. I think I run out the Fathom Seer turn 2, although the awkward part is you don't really want to unmorph it and set yourself back 2 land drops. So it's kind of a whole lot of Scathe Zombie until it's not. But it can attack and block. Which may be what it does here. Because if I don't trade it here... God, there's that damn totem. I mean, we're going to try to get our Crook Claw Transmuter going. I think we're okay trading this for a Flash Bear. Like, I can flash in the dude now and then bounce the islands and just be way behind on mana. But I don't think I like that. That's probably a bad trade. Yeah, I guess I could have been more patient, because I could always flash this in as a 1/3 and block. That's just terrible for us. Oh god, that's so bad. How am I ever beating an Umbra Spider? I'm basically not. God, that is so bad. I can't do anything. We just lose. I mean, I guess we get 1 hit in. I can... Ugh. Also, not drawing white mana sucks. Like, this is why Umbra Spider is so good. Like, I was going to say we could flash in our flyer dude and trade with it, but they still get another spider. Our best answer to that is our enchantment. But I think we're probably just too far behind here that it's not going to matter. I think trading this off was a really bad idea. I kind of just want to blast that instead of playing the flyer, because the flyer doesn't actually do anything. That starts to help. That starts to help a lot. So what do we do here? We play the Rider in core. We flash this guy in. We transmute its toughness. That gives us 5 toughness. We double block it, and we still haven't done anything. Like, I guess at this point I just flash this guy in and block. And then he casts his guy and kills mine, and we're sad. What lets me play 2 spells? I guess casting a 2-drop lets me play 2 spells. Because that seems like the start of how we start to get some value. It's probably not going to end well. But don't they say playing 2 spells a turn is like how you start to get ahead in games of Magic? I may need to go back to Magic Camp. Maybe you're just supposed to force screen in these things so that you can get... he's going to name blue, and he's going to gain a life when we cast our bird. And we're going to be sad. No, green. Okay. I guess because he wants to start activating that totem and beating me to death with it. I'm still hoping we'll draw our tap spell for this guy. Okay. Well, I guess we can at least prevent 2 points of damage. Nope. It's still a 2/4. Alright, so plan is to trade these, flash in the wall, and block that. And search up another mediocre rebel with this guy. Alright. It's not a good plan, but it is a plan. Good news is he played that, so he can't just kill our wall with one. It's funny, I looked at that like exile target artifact card and was like, whatever, I'll need that. And then we just threw away a divination. Yeah, I think I may be out of my format here. Alright. Well, we've got enchantment removal for that, and we were going to do this anyway, so here we go. I can get another one. I think I just like that. Like, it just replaces itself. That's fine. Sarah Avenger looking good. I guess at this point we're pretty happy to play this guy and save the activation on this to go get our shadow one. But I still think we're just dead to basically this thing smacking us in the face. Okay, we do have a good answer to that. So we've got that going for us. Like, one of the things we can do is double block this to trade, search up our shadow guy. We're still taking 5 and it sucks, but so now Sarah Avengers can block that. I still can't deal with the totem, but it's a start. We get some value here with our sideboard card doing what we wanted it to do. So I can block that, take another 5, and then we're just basically dead to not having an answer to that. Well, I guess we sort of do have an answer in that I can play the wall, block it with the Outrider, and redirect 4 damage to that. So maybe that's where we go. Like, it's not going to kill us at that point, right? Like, I can already redirect 1, 2, 3, 4. But I think I take this one, hope he doesn't have a burn spell, and then we can just start redirecting the damage to a wall. And then slowly grind him to death with this. Okay. Damn it, I should have attacked with the Avenger too. I'm making some mistakes here because I'm worried about things and stuff. If I attack with Avenger 2, he can't block it because then I can kill it. So that was just a mistake. Fortunately, we have figured out a way for him to not kill us with the totem. And we'll start attacking correctly this turn. Well, Gaze of Justice gets rid of it. But, I mean, we've already got it handled. Just a little worried about that time. I think this works like I think it does. If it doesn't, we're dead. One, two, three, four. Does that do what I think it does? I think it does. No. Okay, it prevents 1 damage exactly. So we're racing and chump blocking. Well, that fogs it for a turn, which means maybe if we're going to fog it for a turn, we kill this and get in as big a hit as we can. I can't think too much about this. So yeah, if I'm going to fog it for a turn and essentially agree that this guy never does anything, I can hit it and do here, here, and here. Get in for 7. Fog it for a turn. Enchanted creature has shadow. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt. Okay, so we get in here. He activates, we fog it, and then we kill him next turn. It does fall off, but he should be dead by then, right? And even if he's not, we can chump it with the wall. Okay, we managed to figure out a way to win that one. Cool. I'm still basically scared to death of that golem. Like, I don't have any realistic way of dealing with it. I could try siding in my own sliver. Maybe I'm still interested in the Trickster to be able to potentially tap it. I like the sideboard tech of the Zealot to knock out his sliver. Like, I feel like the more answers we have for that, the better. And the Gaze of Justice is probably just playable in this deck. I mean, the Acacian Crier activates it too. What does that do? Yeah, that's not really what we're looking for. I kind of like the Trickster, but I can't think of anything that I want to cut. Yeah, I guess we just go with the one we have. And I can sort of see an argument for playing this, but the only thing that he plays that really matters is the power pumping one. And all we're doing is enabling his slivers if he doesn't have any out. Like if he doesn't already have the mill one out. I want to try to make that as much of a 1-mana 1/1 as I can so that it doesn't actually do anything. This is an unfortunate hand for us. And that we have to mulligan it. I don't think we can keep that. This looks acceptable. Not great, but acceptable. And we'll take that, sure. Got to play a little quickly here, so commentary may suffer. But I want to make sure that we don't die to time if I can avoid it. Generally speaking, that's not good for anybody. Okay, we can tap that all day and don't care. Again, because of time, I'm just going to do it now. Okay. Maybe he'll give me a forest. Probably not. But he could have. Or with this many instants, we have to just pass with our stuff up. We can get some value if he attacks with the Yavimaya Dryad. By transmuting. And even if he transmutes it back, we've got the option of flipping our dude to still kill it. Like, that seems pretty good to me. Three sliver, okay. We've got that answered with the interceptor, little dude. This guy's also a decent answer to it, although it doesn't work like I thought it did. It prevents 1 damage, not a bunch of damage. But I think we just go intercepting here. Tap his sliver, flash that guy in. This gives us an avenue to win this game in time. I think we're going to play the Outrider and unmorph this guy next turn. Because I want to have Gaze of Justice out. Oh, that land drop hurts it a little bit. Means we can probably do it on his turn and get in for 2 damage here, which is fine. Yeah, he can't attack with his sliver anyway, so let's get in for 1 while we can. Okay, that's a Brine Elemental and needs to die. That's the only morph he showed us, so it's a high priority kill target. There are obviously plenty of morphs in the format, but that's the one we're worried about. Us skipping our untap step would be quite bad. Since morph doesn't use the stack, like if we psionic blast it, God, I can't remember how much that is to unmorph. That's what Google is for. Brine Elemental. What do you do? You're a 5/4 and you cost 5, 6, 7 to unmorph. Okay, cool. So we kill that as fast as we can. We kill it dead. I can redirect 1 damage, but I don't think it can do more than that because I misunderstood it last time. So, all right, you killed my guy. Which sucks on multiple reasons, like now our Gaze of Just Ice is turned off, but... like our only game plan here is kill this before he can untap with it. We're not exactly pressuring him at this point, but it's kind of okay. We don't have to deal with the Brine Elemental. Again, for time, we're F6ing here. Teachings gets us every card in the deck, like Teferi would be good here too. So we may just hold up Teachings, depending on what we draw. It can get us another one of the flyers too, which would be handy, so that, you know, we have a way to kill him in time. I guess this guy sort of does it too. It's 1 a turn though. Our opponent's game plan may be to time us out, which I kind of don't blame them. I'm playing really slow. Not that I have much choice, but this lets us eventually discard a card to get this guy back, and then we can kill him with that. It's slow as hell, but eventually we get there. There's Teferi. Teferi can actually start attacking, which means I can probably just pass here. No, if I'm not going to use this ability, I may as well attack for 1. All right, I think I can attack with Teferi here because I can't explain what I'm doing. I just need to do it. We're too low on time. All right, what I was trying to get to with that I had to skip is if he double blocks, I can bounce the transmuter, flash it back in, switch Teferi to a 4/3, and it kills both of his slivers. And I can keep up Teachings to basically go get anything in the deck at this point, because once you have Teferi out, creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield have flash. This searches up every creature in the deck, so we can just go get anything we want and play it. I feel pretty lucky to have gotten through that one, especially with some of the mistakes we made. But hey, that's why old formats are a lot of fun. So thanks for tuning in. I'll see you for round 2 in just a minute.